let me give you a little background on my business first. We do managed IT services and managed cybersecurity services, so kind of outsourcing those functionalities for different companies. I'm the CEO. We have about 11 employees, and our revenue from this past year is about $1.7 million.
Good for you. How long have you been open?
Just about 3 years, a little over 3 years now.
Way to go, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So my question is about sales, really. So we've been doing, obviously pretty well, but most of that stems from either people coming to us or networking, word of mouth, that type of stuff. We've tried different outbound sales services and some on our own as well, like reaching out via email campaigns and stuff like that. I've tried learning as much as I can about it, but so far we've been fairly unsuccessful. Most recently, we're doing a search engine optimization campaign as well as a cold calling service, and those actually seem to be doing a little bit better, but still no actual conversions into business. And so I'm just trying to figure out how do we make a repeatable, reliable sales process that we can really, put our pedal to the metal on.
Very good question. I love it. Okay, so you come into a firm. What's your typical customer look like? What size of a firm is it?
It varies, I'd say, from like 50 to 300 users, like technology users. It could be more employees, but people who are actually, laptops and what have you.
Okay.
And
where are they located physically? In the Charleston, South Carolina area, or what?
Actually, we have probably about 30% of our customers here, and the rest are kind of United States wide.
Okay, so you do a lot of remote work.
Yes, yeah.
You're not physically traveling all over the United States to work on people's IT and cybersecurity, right?
No, we do occasionally fly out, but not very often.
Right, only when big relationship or retain one or something like that. But I mean, to do in the actual day-to-day wrench turning, you can do that remote. Your guys they can check the security. They can log into their server or their cloud or whatever it is and make sure everything's going. I got it. Okay. So you have, in the 1.7, about how many customers do you have?
Probably maybe 10 to 12, something like that.
So these folk are paying you a couple $100,000 a year.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So they're big sales. Yeah, that's not necessarily an SEO thing. All right. SEO is much better for consumer stuff than it is B2B. You can get some stuff B2B, but that's a big ticket item. So, okay, so you have, let's call it 6 or 7 customers at 200 to 300K. And what I'm developing here is what we call in marketing a persona. What is the demographic look of the customer? And so it's a customer with 50 to 300 team members anywhere in the United States. 1/3 of the time they've been in our immediate area, but we can service them adequately and excellently anywhere in the U.S. And they're paying us $250,000. So that means that they're either have a lot of profit margin or they've got a lot more team members than the 50 to 300 that are non-technical. Because, I mean, if they're paying you $250,000 and they're still profitable and they only got 50 team members total, that means they have a a huge margin on whatever they're selling. Does that make sense?
Yeah, can I throw one thing in there?
Sure, help me. Yeah.
So on that revenue, I'd say maybe 40% of that, maybe 50% even, is projects, and those customers do span much larger organizations.
Okay. So it's not necessarily all ongoing contracts, maintenance contracts.
Exactly. Yeah.
I thought you had maintenance contracts on the IT and on the cyber that were ongoing. Instead, you've got some one-off projects. And what percentage of your 1.7 is one-offs?
I'd say probably close to 50% of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that does change the numbers then. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's okay. What is it you're wanting to sell? Projects or ongoing service?
That's the thing. We really want to do more of the ongoing service because it gives us kind of that.
It's recurring revenue.
Like,
It's like a subscription. It's
exactly.
brilliant. Software as a service in
Yeah.
a sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Much better for you. You don't have to go out and get a new customer every morning. Yeah.
You got it, man.
Yeah, I like that. I'm with you. All right. I love subscription recurring revenue when we can make it work. Well, number one, let's say out loud, these are two very different products with two very different goals. The project-driven product the goal is short-term revenue until we can get so much subscription revenue that we don't want to do those anymore. So that you probably can SEO into a lot easier than you can into a subscription. The subscription stuff is probably going to come more from referral. So I would go to my existing customers and regularly have a system to ask the existing customers how to find more people like them, the subscription ones, okay? The ones buying the ongoing service. And you know, who else in the business can you refer me to? I need some referrals. I'm a small guy. I'm trying to grow this thing. Would you help me out? You know, I'm not going to pester them. I just, you know, if you'll just introduce me to two people, it would be a huge favor. We would really, really, really appreciate it. If you have one that ends up giving you 3 or 4 customers, send him and his wife on a cruise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For sure, because it'll make you a zillion times more than the cruise costs. So say thank you if you get somebody that enthusiastically does that. But sometimes they'll just kind of go, yeah, you know, I never thinking about it, but thanks for bringing it up because I was just talking to my buddy at lunch and he was griping about he got hacked. And you go, wow, you need to call Shay. Okay. And, you know, you increase the word of mouth by making it top of mind and by asking for the referrals. That's a sales system that I would lean into first and foremost because your best advertisement is a satisfied customer. It's much better than a banner ad. It's much better than a random email system or a follow-up or whatever else. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing I would do, and I would use SEO for this, and I think you'll get a good ROAS on it. I think your return on it will be sufficient, especially if you do it carefully. I would do some Facebook, but more importantly, I'd probably do some keyword Google purchases that help me fish exactly in the pond where this size fish is. I'm not trying to get companies that have 15,000 employees. That's not your target. Okay? And I'm not trying to get solopreneurs that are working in their living room and don't have any employees. That's not your target. So you're very specific with your keyword buys and don't try to sell your service with these keyword buys. Instead, use a lead magnet. And that is a free downloadable PDF, the top 10 mistakes people make when it comes to their cybersecurity, or the 4 myths that cost companies millions of dollars in cybersecurity, or you know, a great story of of a company that that's not a good download. Why would I? You know, why? In other words, the customer is interested in this and is going to download this thing that gives them some information, but it also tells you they are a white hot lead because they are concerned about the subject. And so, like for instance, in the real estate business, residential real estate business, 1,000 years ago, when the internet was first started, we taught real estate agents to do a lead magnet that was like 10 things to do to get your home ready to sell. And if you download that PDF, you're probably thinking about selling your house. Hello. So that's a white hot lead then. That's not a warm lead. That's like, you know, who downloads how to get your house ready to sell? Not me. I'm not selling mine. So it's got to be somebody's thinking about it. So the same thing in your thing. Somebody's got a cybersecurity problem. They've been hacked. Top 4 things to do immediately when you've been hacked or whatever. If you got a phishing scam going, here's what we're going to do. Or anything that's a buzzword in the cybersecurity world or in the IT breakdown world. What happens when this, I don't know, whatever the common problem is that this size firm would face with an IT problem that you can service instantly. And you go, okay, here's 3 things you can do immediately that relieve some of the pain, and then call the doctor now that you stop the bleeding or the doctor. And also, in order to get the free download, of course, they're dropping you their email. That's what it costs them. And then you've got the ability to follow up. And obviously, they have to have spam opt-out and all the things to be legal on all that. But, yeah, that kind of thing. You need to be fishing in the pool with something and giving away something that is in the area. We're not giving away candy bars. That's not the business we're in. So we're giving away something having to do with that subject. Or here's another one. 5 things to look for when you're selecting your outsourced IT firm or outsourced cybersecurity firm. And if you look for these 5 things, you'll get a good one. By the way, you fill all of those 5 things. So, you already found one. But, how to properly, we do it with 6 things you ought to consider when you're interviewing your financial advisor. And we'll put stuff like that out there, and man, it just lights it up, And so lead magnets with SEO that way, but you've got to be very careful with where you're fishing, or you won't get a ROAS on it. You won't get a return on it. And so, and it occurs to me in your world, it's probably not Facebook. Facebook, very consumer driven. We run some Facebook ads on some of these things, but they're direct to consumer issues. And you may want to try to, LinkedIn might be a place to land some of this stuff. Actually, it is a place to land some of it if you can figure out a way to run some of it in that. But that's the type of thing we're always looking at doing. So develop a persona. This is the target. And where do I find these people, and how do these people shop for this service? And the first place you go is to your existing satisfied customers, and then after that, you go from there. And I would build some testimonial videos and put them on your website of going, man, we got hacked, and we were so screwed, and Shay's guys came in, and they not only cleaned up the mess, they locked all the doors, and the cybersecurity team was amazing. It took 48 hours to stop the bleeding, and it took another 4 weeks to get it in place, and then they stay on top of it. They're our internet cops, and we love them. And have somebody like me that doesn't know squat about what they're talking about say that stuff to the camera, and then just post a bunch of those on your website, and that's another way to get started in that. So I don't know. It's just some ideas off the top of my head. Maybe not all good ones, but you can pick and choose as you want, and that's what we're here for. So very, very cool stuff. Love what you're doing, man. It's a great business. Congratulations. Really, really like it.